A trainer at SeaWorld Orlando rushed to the hospital after she was bitten by a killer whale.
Investigators determined SeaWorld did not violate any workplace safety rules.
In June 2022, tranquility was shattered at SeaWorld Orlando, which hadn't seen an animal-induced accident in nearly a decade. The incident occurred during a routine dental cleaning when Malia, an orca, suddenly clamped her mouth shut, trapping and severely injuring a female trainer's arm. The trainer suffered multiple fractures to her right forearm and wrist, causing a serious setback in a setting known for its safety. Rushed to the hospital, her injuries posed urgent questions about her future. This is the sad story of a trainer who was attacked by her beloved orca. Malia's story begins on a sunny day in SeaWorld Orlando back in 2007. She came into the world in quite a unique way, being born tail first on March 12th. Her mom, Taima, was a special kind of orca, a mix of Icelandic and West Coast transient killer whale, and her dad, Tilikum, was Icelandic, making Malia mostly Icelandic with a hint of West Coast transient in her genes. Growing up, Malia was a spirited calf. She was the third child of Taima and Tilikum, following in the footsteps of her older brothers, Sumar and Tikoa. Sadly, Sumar didn't stick around for long, but Malia thrived. She was a playful little orca, always darting around the waters of SeaWorld. Taima, Malia's mother, was a protective parent. She had her hands full with her lively daughter and her big mate Tilikum. Malia got to know her dad well. They would often be seen together, swimming and performing for the visitors. But life in the oceanarium wasn't just about family time. Malia found her buddies among the other orcas, like Nalani and Chua. There was one other special orca in Malia's life though, Kalina. Kalina was a second mom to Malia. Whenever Taima needed a break, Kalina stepped in to lend a hand. She taught Malia the ropes of life, showing her how to perform those tricky behaviors that wowed the crowd. But life at SeaWorld wasn't all smooth sailing. In 2010, tragedy struck when Taima passed away due to complications during labor. Malia was just a young calf then, barely 3 years old. It was a tough time for her, losing her mom and mentor, but Kalina was there for her, helping her through the grief. As Malia grew, so did her skills. She was a smart orca, picking up on behaviors faster than a fish can swim. She even started learning waterworks, the impressive stunts that amazed the audience. And who better to learn from than Tilikum himself? In 2016, Malia was reintroduced to her dad, spending most of her time with him and honing her performance skills. Today, Malia is a 17-year-old orca, still swimming strong in SeaWorld Orlando. She's come a long way. Malia's life has been confined to the walls of a tank, a far cry from the vast expanses of the ocean where her wild relatives roam. She entered a world of captivity that would shape her existence. Taima, Malia's mother, had a troubled history. Before Malia's birth, Taima displayed aggression towards her two other offsprings, Sumar and Tikoa. Tragically, both of these siblings faced Taima's attacks when they were just infants. Taima's troubled behavior might have roots in her own captivity trauma. Losing her mother and sister left scars that may have influenced her actions. Additionally, Taima became a mother at an unusually young age, which could have further contributed to her aggression. Despite Taima's challenges, Malia entered the world and soon met her father, Tilikum. Tilikum, infamous for the tragic incident involving trainer Dawn Brachot in 2010, was one of the few of his offsprings whom Malia had the chance to interact with. The year 2010 marked a series of devastating losses for Malia. First, her mother, Taima, passed away during labor with her fourth calf. Shortly afterwards, Malia lost her close companion, Kalina. The loss continued when Tilikum passed away in 2017. With each death, Malia experienced profound grief and loneliness. In a shocking turn of events, a routine training session at SeaWorld Orlando turned into a nightmare when Malia, a 15-year-old orca, attacked a trainer, causing severe injuries. The incident, which occurred on June 13, 2022, sent shockwaves through the park and garnered attention from media outlets worldwide. Malia never showed signs of aggression towards people. At least that was what SeaWorld officials claimed. The trainer, whose identity remained undisclosed, was attempting to clean Malia's mouth, which had accumulated debris, including paint and food chips. Armed with a pressurized pump spray bottle filled with water and fluoride, the trainer approached Malia to rinse her mouth and dislodge the unwanted particles. However, in a tragic turn of events, Malia closed her mouth unexpectedly, trapping the trainer's right arm inside. Despite immediate attempts to open her mouth again, the damage had been done. The force of Malia's bite caused multiple fractures to the trainer's right forearm and wrist, necessitating urgent medical attention. The trainer was rushed to Orlando Regional Medical Center, where she underwent surgery to repair the extensive injuries sustained during the attack. According to the report, SeaWorld officials explained their protocols for safely cleaning a killer whale's mouth, which included procedures such as signaling for the whale to open its mouth, using specialized teeth flush kits developed by the park, and maintaining a safe distance of at least 3 feet from the whale's mouth. The trainer involved in the incident inadvertently strayed within the stay-away zone, leading to the unfortunate outcome. Following the incident, an investigative report compiled by the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, shed light on the circumstances surrounding the attack. It revealed that the trainer had violated safety protocols by moving her hand too close to Malia's mouth, breaching the designated 3-foot stay-away rule. While the trainer survived the ordeal, the attack served as a stark reminder of the inherent dangers associated with working closely with marine animals, even in controlled environments such as SeaWorld. Despite their captivity, orcas like Malia possess formidable strength and instincts, underscoring the importance of strict adherence to safety guidelines and protocols. In response to the incident, safety officials mandated corrective measures to prevent similar incidents in the future. SeaWorld Orlando was required to purchase a longer spray wand to ensure trainers could maintain a safe distance from the orcas during cleaning procedures. Additionally, all other trainers underwent further training to reinforce safety protocols and minimize the risk of future accidents. The attack reignited debates surrounding the ethics of keeping orcas in captivity and raised questions about the welfare of marine animals in entertainment parks. But the incident with Malia happened in 2022, and it was far from the first one at SeaWorld. Life at these kind of facilities isn't great. Malia's father, Tilikum, was one of the greatest tragedies ever at SeaWorld. He caused the death of 3 trainers in 30 years, and yet they still put him back on stage. Tilikum showed how desperate orcas were, but nobody listened. The greatest incident at SeaWorld Orlando was in 2010, when trainer Dawn Berchot lost her life to Tilikum during a performance. It was a tragic event that sparked debates about animal captivity and safety regulations. Following Dawn's death, OSHA conducted investigations and eventually fined SeaWorld for safety violations. However, fast forward to a recent incident involving Malia, Tilikum's daughter, and a trainer who suffered severe injuries after Malia bit her arm, and it shows clearly that fining SeaWorld wasn't enough. Despite the seriousness of the incident, OSHA's final report indicated that no citations would be issued, stating that no specific OSHA standards were applied in this case. Legal experts emphasized that SeaWorld had protocols in place, and the trainer's actions, while well-intentioned, may have been off the cuff and resulted in an unpredictable response from the animal. In response to inquiries about changes to protocols following the incident, SeaWorld Orlando provided a statement emphasizing their commitment to the safety of both animals and employees. They highlight their new extensive training and procedures aimed at maximizing safety during interactions with animals in their care. This incident appears to be the first animal-related injury at SeaWorld Orlando since Dawn's tragic death in 2010. There are no more dangerous orca shows, but these animals are still being kept in subpar conditions. Instead of having the freedom to move in the ocean for hundreds of miles each day, orcas live in small tanks, where they develop many mental and physical health issues. Despite the documentary Blackfish revealing the sad lives of orcas in SeaWorld in 2013 and causing a huge backlash and loss for the park, many animals live in the same conditions. These animals are so frustrated that they peel paint off the tanks and chew on metal bars, heavily damaging their mouths. So despite there being no incidents in over a decade, these animals were still being misused and showed signs of that. And instead of reacting properly, SeaWorld just told trainers to clean their mouths. Later in 2010, sand was found in a gastric sample from an orca named Rascal, which showed that this wasn't an isolated behavior from Malia. But there is hope for Malia's future. Advocates push for her to experience a seaside sanctuary, a place where she can be in the ocean and finally experience a life beyond captivity. It's a chance for Malia to know more than just the sorrow and monotony that have marked her existence, and for other orcas to have that opportunity as well after the tragedies at SeaWorld. Should OSHA share the blame for this attack since they didn't find SeaWorld properly before and brush this attack off? Will SeaWorld ever be punished enough for the misfortune they brought to animals? Should these parks be closed down? How can we reintroduce them into the wild again after being in captivity for so long? Our opinions are reserved, but maybe another story could give answers, shown on screen.